How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. 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 Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Commando. Commando chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice, a reflection of your...
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. You're in...
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same, with the difference being I'm the better half.
Better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light makes it easier to see the best end.
The best end is the one you decide yourself, and it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind, a reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. better run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. To mutate when the end of days began and the Tree of Life started to die. Flash and slash. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. That's going to leave a mark. You're in pain. Right in the face. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. Feels good. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Carving it up. You're fading. A ladder would be better. At least you got something for your trouble. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and, without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Sharp steel. Put it in. Just what you were looking for. Slice and dice. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
Tamuk gabamukta yatu yao mawa.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Ko bubuya butai miss.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Honto kontue bon yevun goja.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Ayamu aya uluwoya lo yalubatuluyu.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Honto kontue bon yevun goja.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Yevovo lolan awful potawata.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Yevovo lolan awful toledrea ya mauloa.
It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma.
Weta gono fofo umbak bakwa papamu.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Muk bebuk. Setuata popkila.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Maotoliawahu.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Papamofubak. Setuata popkila.
After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other.
Iboda kilmok. Balu tutulua.
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders... Sounds like... The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just... The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding. You've found one. You should be... The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you... You'll need... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be... He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that... Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so... countless, he'd say. One... But today... Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this... One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the Second Coming, and our lineage. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. The road ahead won't be... He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the Porky Puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war. You're getting the hang of it. quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
He's
heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here.
Fairy tale.
He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack.
Fairy tale.
He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart.
Fairy tale.
Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
That's right. Smack that spark out before it starts.
You don't have to be so harsh.
Take it out now while it's small.
There's always another spark.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important.
Biomutant Yatu Yao Mawa.
Out of Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's 2 nearby.
Dolo Mawa Wanya. Do Wavu. Luatolo Mawa.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
The water.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Do Wavu. Loto Lu Bayo.
He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part.
Ka Nuka. Nuburak. Fofo Umba Bagwa. Papamu.
He believes you share Jagni's view on the world. Regardless, Jagni would welcome someone that had helped them against the Myriad tribe.
Taimis. Bubuko von Yunvun.
He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. Right between the eyes. So much damage. Personal. All fired up. They've restroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Wonders why the Sifu would want to see you, but he'll let you in and give it a try.
Zata is the moi totloho. Kariesne stace. Paro, ya put
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. He's referring to your rampage through Bunker 101. It seems you don't mind a bit of blood on your hands. That's something you have in common. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves. But he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. There were 6 of them, but the unity fell apart after Lupa Lupin attacked the old village. Soon after, they formed new tribes based on their own values, and when the Blight started, the animosity escalated to war. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Jagni doesn't want a new unity between the tribes. Their goal is to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So embracing that side of you and helping them vanquish the tribes and letting the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life should be an easy decision. He didn't expect that of you. You were born bad so you could do good in this world. That weak mind of yours has made you soft. He'll give you a chance to change your mind before you leave and asks you to reconsider. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a rival. Then so be it. He wants you to know that they'll show no mercy at the end of this war, and offers you a last chance to come back and join when you realize you've picked the wrong side. And with that, he urges you to seek protection at Myriad's Stone Fort before word gets out that you've chosen not to side with them. He disagrees, and the day you meet again, you'll understand why. It's time to say goodbye for now. And if it's not the kind of goodbye that lasts forever, then the next will mean the end for you. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially. It formed and unfurred. Got more than a flesh wound. Where it cuts. Bullets everywhere.